Hello, it is a No Ums video for April the 16th, 2023. I'm a day late, but better late than never. Yes, No Ums number 56, where I report in on my vocal journey. How am I doing with my speaking this week? It's my weekly check-in. This week I backslid and did a Patsy Rudman's Need for Words section, which actually just made it more concrete to me that I'm not going back to Patsy Rudenberg, because she's basically just doing I'm giving you advice on how to act various texts. And I did Milton. I ended up doing Milton, which was interesting to read out loud, but yeah, it's not anywhere where my focus is for learning how to be more read be not read better on camera, but talk more engagingly on camera, and thinking about how I want to organize my own videos. I think I need to work on presentation skills, on organization, on outlines for presentations. Stuff like that is where I need to work on. So that is my goal for the week coming up, is pick a topic and do a presentation. And that means come up with an outline at least the day before, if not starting now with a topic. I think the topic is loneliness in Piranesi. That will be my topic. And come up with a presentation on that. And whether my subject is bullshit or not, just kind of get into that process of making a weekly presentation video and work on that. Yes, that is my goal. I think the big thing that I definitely picked up from Rudenberg is this idea, when reading out text, is the idea of don't read out like a little chunk, like a part of a stanza. Try and carry through your reading all the way to the end of a thought. Then that's your pause, and that's usually a period. And that's been useful for reading or Orlando Furioso here. I've still got it open for me. I just did a marathon read of Orlando Furioso, and I could really feel, because wasn't successful all the time, I could really feel where, oh, this entire stanza is an entire thought, or sometimes a couple of stanzas are one entire thought. So you really have to just kind of keep on reading and letting it flow, and just kind of go through until you get to the final part of the end of that thought. And that's how you present something. That is how you get an idea across. That is how you connect with the text. You connect with the words of a text. It's not like you're not reading word by word. You're reading thought by thought, and that makes a big difference in how you read. That does have a big difference in your comprehension of a text, and it's so crucial. I can tell while I'm reading Orlando Furioso where I do not understand what's happening, and as a result, my reading is very fractured and disjointed as I'm reading it. I can't imagine if anyone was listening to it back, they would probably feel the same way about it. So I do thank Patsy Rodenberg for that. For me reading stuff out loud. It's probably also a good point to think about while I'm presenting, that I want to make sure that I present an entire thought in one full breath, and then take the pause and let that sink in, and then continue on with the next thought, and present everything in not large chunks, but in complete chunks. I would actually argue, for a modern speaker, my thoughts shouldn't be paragraphs long. It should be like a sentence, and it shouldn't probably even be a long sentence, because most audiences are not going to be able to follow you through a whole gigantic line of thought. You need to break it down into the component parts and present that, and then perhaps do a summary at the end of, these are my entire thoughts together, combining, this is what I've told you. Now, these are all the parts I've told you, and this is it all together. Can you understand that now, dear audience? Um, Not that they're dumb. It's more, have I been able to communicate that to you, dear audience, in a way that is digestible and that you've got now, and you might actually carry away from me speaking. So yeah, it Patsy Rodenberg, I'm sort of leaving behind. I'm still reading. I've still got like about 20% of the book left to read. Maybe it's always hard to tell with ebooks how much the actual text you have left, but I'm just reading it. And we've so far we've gone through restoration plays. We've gone through the through kind of what the hell, not Renaissance. Renaissance would be Shakespeare and stuff like that. Restoration, very kind of classical plays. We skipped forward all the way to Oscar Wilde. We've skipped to Shaw. And I think the next thing we're going to be doing is a thing about, all right, these are all plays that you can read in sort of in proper, in received English, proper English, received English, BBC English, I think it would have been called at one point. But now we're going to get into plays where they expect that you're going to use different styles of speaking, different accents are going to be expected in the plays. And how do you deal with that, especially if that isn't your native accent? Or perhaps, I don't know. Well, I'll find out what Patsy has to say about that. But it's more intellectual for me because it's a lot of actorly stuff. And I'm not really interested in acting. I'm interested in speaking my own words and my own thoughts and trying to get them out in a way that is complete and that people can hear. All right, this has been a rambly No Ums video as usual, and I'll see you next time.